Hi, I'm Brendon McDermott, and this is the Digital Roast Podcast. This is season 2, so pleased to be back, and thank you for everyone for listening for the first season of the Digital Roast Podcast. In season 2, we're going to continue with that theme of productivity, but focus a little bit more on ERP and business systems. And today we're coming to you from Christchurch, where we've got 10 business consultants here in Christchurch with focus. So we're going to find out a little bit more about ERP, business software, and just what that all means and what that could mean for your business. And we're lucky enough today to have Ranae Dodds, who is Branch Manager Christchurch and Business Software Consultant. I'm not sure who gave you that long role,
Ranae. Name.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
So let's start with ERP. What does ERP actually mean?
What does it mean? What is it? So ERP is an acronym for Enterprise Resource Planning, but that's a big mouthful and no one really uses that. So here in Christchurch we talk ERP all the time. But what it actually is in simple terms is it is business software, and it is where all your business information is in one central place. From there, all your business processes and your workflows all pull data from that one central place.
So how is that different from business to business? Because everyone's got information, every business has got information and data. So how does that vary from business to business?
Well, not everyone's got it in one central place. People have got it all over the show. So they may have multiple spreadsheets, they may have multiple third-party systems that are not integrated. They may be pulling Excel spreadsheets left, right and centre from that and trying to collate it together. But with an ERP central system, it's all in one place, it's one database, one source of truth, and all the data is up to date, real time.
And this is one roast. What is your choice of roast?
My joke roast or my real roast?
Oh, either. What's your joke roast?
My joke roast is like a double shot soy with almond milk and a shot of tequila.
Just 2 of those a day?
5 a day.
5 a day?
Especially
Nice.
to get through a podcast like this, first time. But my real roast is cappuccino.
Excellent. And I'll continue here with the long black with a touch of cream.
Cream.
So we've talked a little bit around ERP and I guess what that is. Can you, I guess, give us some examples from a business perspective around when they might use an ERP and when they might use another sort of financial system to do that?
That's a good question. So a good indicator of a business that needs an ERP would be if they have multi anywhere in their business. So multi-company, multi-currency, multi-warehousing, multi-layered manufacturing, multiple people in a single sales process. All of those workflows are indicative of needing an ERP. If you're a single company, very simple GL, less than 20 people, you may just be able to have a financial system, perhaps with a one-way integration. But if you're any of those multis, then definitely a two-way integration to help streamline processes is a good indicator.
So size doesn't necessarily matter. It's more about those multi-functions happening within a business.
It's about the complexity of your business. I mean, you could be a small company, but you may have some intricacies. You may have multi-warehousing offshore, that you have your multi-currency. You might be small, but you might just be quite niche and quite complex.
In different industries, so it doesn't matter what industry you're running, you could be running an ERP system or having the need to have an ERP system.
Oh, sure. Yep. I mean, distribution, construction, field service, all of it. Everyone would need an ERP if you've got complexities within your business. Yep.
And so when you and your team, get a lead or a client who comes to you and says, look, I'm not sure, I think I may need an ERP, or we're currently running something like Xero or a smaller version of something like MYOB. Mm-hmm. What sort of conversation do you have with them at that stage around where that fit might be for them?
Our first question is to ask them what their pain points are, like what takes the most time, what frustrates people the most. We ask them about errors, what causes lots of errors, rework. I mean, as we know, rework costs a lot of money, hits your bottom line. So we kind of delve into the annoyances first. And that's a real robust conversation. They'll give us lots of information and stories around, what's frustrating for them. And yeah.
And some people might think when we start talking, you start, with ERP, the first word's enterprise, but it's not really enterprise. And so I guess it's scalable, and the price can certainly vary depending on what sort of system people are looking to introduce.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's software as a service. And so that's just based on the roles and the people, and we just define it. Licensing is obviously quite expensive. And when we do an implementation, we will always look to make that investment as palatable as possible for a client. So we would look at phasing rather than doing a big bang, everything all at once. We would phase it, definitely not minimal viable product, but definitely what they need to run functionally as a business, and then we build on it and evolve over time. We spend a lot of time around identifying who needs what sort of licenses, so really defining the roles down so that people aren't paying for more than is necessary. So that's part of our solution design.
You've touched on it a little bit already, but what are the real advantages of having everything integrated? There's got to be a huge amount of time-saving cost. But can you give us some examples of some of that time-saving that can happen by utilising that integrated system?
Yep. The key thing is just that you've got one source of truth data. So there's no back and forth trying to pull data and update spreadsheets and not actually have security knowing that your data is actually correct. We know that we've got a business that's got data here and data there. There's always a little bit of uncertainty of what the actual costs, which is the correct one. So that's the main benefit. The fact that it's all live and real time and up to date means that what's happening in sales is affecting inventory straight away, which is massive, right? You don't want to have a delay between what you're going to sell and what's actually coming in. So they're kind of real business benefits. And I think for the business owners, they've got transparency, so they can see exactly what is going on at any time, and then they can make informed business decisions. And that's the power of ERP, is to not be reactive but proactive.
And I guess as a CEO and a business owner, having that real-time information at your fingertips is just got to be crucial for that decision making.
Yeah, for sure. And dashboards nowadays, you can create a great dashboard that's got all the information that a C-suite person, they'll all be different, people got different requirements, but it's all just there that they can just run, and it doesn't take time. They don't have to pull multiple reports and try and pull it together. It's press of a button and it's there. So it's just efficient, it streamlines processes, it's productive, it's all of those benefits.
And I know the team here in Christchurch, it's not just the ERP system, but there's a whole lot of other components, isn't there? Payroll, Power BI,
AP automation.
AP automation, yeah. So can you sort of explain some of those and how they sort of fit in and I suppose give that efficiency that businesses are looking for?
Yeah, well, they all complement each other. So you've got your ERP, which is all your business processes and workflows. Power BI obviously is a bit of a buzzword, and that just complements bringing out data. AP automation, that's got some really good security.
So we're talking
features.
about AP, we're talking about creditors.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's got good security around making sure that when those invoices are coming in, you're not paying somebody who you shouldn't be. So there's a lot of stuff around that. What was the other one that you said?
Oh, we're talking about payroll as well.
Oh, yeah, payroll. Yeah. So that's a fun world, isn't it? Payroll.
And the crucial one to get right. If you've got employees,
Exactly.
you get that wrong, and you don't have employees for very long, do you?
Yeah, no, exactly. But that would be the ultimate, to have one system that you could have your end-to-end, everything from the time that you put your sales through right through to paying your people and everything in between, all one source of truth, one platform to do it all.
And I suppose a bit of a plug, but the team here, MYOB Acumatica, had a name change from MYOB Advanced last year to Acumatica.
Yes.
Acumatica being a global brand.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Acumatica and I guess what may set that apart from some of the other ERP systems.
Wow. So MYOB conference I was at in March this year, and number one ERP in Australia and New Zealand from MYOB, which is great. Acumatica is a US product. What sets it apart is that it is true cloud platform as opposed to an on-premise platform that's been converted to cloud. So it was born out of cloud, and it's got a very strong roadmap ahead. And MYOB invested in Acumatica itself, and so there's a real strong synergy and partnership there as well. So it's a great product. It's really fun to work with. I know my team here really enjoy deploying it. It's large, but it can also be condensed down to
so it's
simple.
got a scalability that I guess, depending on what size you are, it can kind of fit if you've got those multi things, which is the key sort of pick-up area from before.
Yeah, and we do there is a bit of a matrix around like the ideal fit for Acumatica. So the ideal fit would be mid-sized business, and that's defined by 20 to 1,000 employees and a turnover of 5 to 100 million. So that's kind of the niche that's its best place to play, Acumatica.
But as you said before, I think having those multi-components, you could get a business that's smaller.
Yeah.
That just has got a bit of complexity and I suppose just investigating that whether ERP is the right fit or not is worth doing.
Yeah. The matrix of the return on investment for someone smaller than 5 mil is harder to swallow. Right. That's all. You know, you have to be thinking of that. But definitely anybody who can be talking multis, it's multi and ERP kind of go hand in hand.
And we talk a lot about partnership and technology, and that must be one of the components that must make a difference. If you read the headlines, a lot of ERP implementations can fail, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So is that the difference? Does that make the difference, I guess, who you've got supporting you and if it's a partnership?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. You have to have a strong partnership. But equally, you need to, from the client's point of view, they need to make sure the right people are in the project. So the stakeholders need to be involved from day one. So our most successful projects have been when the C-suite have been there from the entire project. So that means from project kickoff right through to project debrief. They've been involved in all of the decisions. They know all the ups and downs, the why things may have changed, why we've decided to change tact, or maybe something's not going to happen until phase 2 after go live. Those projects with those people and making sure that there's resource and time and commitment, that's where the success comes in. So partnership with us, but also equally they have to have that devotion and commitment themselves.
So a crucial component of your team is obviously around project management, given that you talk about projects.
Yeah.
These become some big projects that are essential to the business success.
Yes, yeah. And we write quite a methodology around that of how we deliver our projects, and we have our pillars that we follow, and we've got a clear path how to do it.
So what's the flip side? So how do businesses perhaps make mistakes when it comes to ERP implementation? Do you have any examples, or you can give us any advice around what those mistakes might be?
Yep. Number one probably is going live before you're ready. And so they've just got this date in mind that's not a real true date, that they just want to go live. The system's not ready, hasn't been thoroughly tested, but there's a pressure and there's a drive, and it goes live, and it goes wrong on so many levels. So not only does it go wrong for the staff and for their experience, but also there could be mistakes from their customers. So they could invoice people incorrectly, or they may run out of certain stock that they can't supply. It can, and it has gone really wrong. And that's my biggest push internally with the team here. I'm always pushing back a lot, like, do you really need to go live? Are you ready? Are you sure? What's your backup plan? If this goes wrong, what can we roll back to? And it's easier to move a go live date than what it is to not be able to supply to your customers or have a bad experience for your staff.
I guess as you talked about it right at the beginning, this is fundamental. It's central to your business.
It's your business processes
Yeah.
and workflows. That's everything that everybody does.
Yeah. So how would a business go about choosing the right provider, given a lot of that?
You just need to partner. You just need to find the right partner, meet the partner, talk to them, gauge from their demo, listen to how they deliver, figure out whether that's somebody you want to do business with, you want to work with, because not only, it's not just the implementation, that's once the implementation's done, it's in phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. There's, years of partnership. We've got some clients here in Christchurch who we've been their partner for 15 years, and as the business has grown and evolved, then so we've worked alongside with them. So
You're almost like
kind
part
of
of
key.
the team in a way.
Yeah. Well, you become like the trusted advisor to use that word. Where else do they get that kind of advice of, this is, say they're wanting to set up a new B2B website. I mean, who would, the accountant's not going to be able to help them with that, and their website people won't help them, but as us, with their incumbent already understanding all of their business, we can, guide them and assist them. And so partnership's key. People,
Yep. And it's right, we're in a technology space, but it's really about people when it comes to actually making it work, isn't it? And turning that technology into a smart solution or a central solution for any business.
Yeah, for sure.
And that doesn't matter, I guess that doesn't matter whether it's a ERP system or what piece of software. We talked to Emma around TimeTrack a few episodes ago.
Yep.
So same thing.
Yep.
I guess the process needs to be similar in terms of get that trusted advisor and be comfortable with what you're putting in.
Yeah, and the same with Sam. The work that she does, it's all around asking those right questions, developing the rapport with the client. What do you need? What is your pain? How will this fix? Yeah. How do we roll it out? How does it go live with maximum impact that nobody gets unsettled, either the client or your staff? Yeah. That's the ultimate.
Have you got any examples of how an ERP system's really transformed a business? I know you'll have lots of examples, but have you seen any that have kind of have put this in and went, wow, my business is now really flying because of what we've done here?
I know that we've had one client who put in an ERP, and then it was an older ERP, so it had a different set of features, and then they were looking for business growth, and they had quite a few ideas of acquisitions and stuff that were in the pipeline. And so they then moved on to Acumatica, and they are a client that we've done a case study with in the past. And they have continued with their business growth, and they've recently bought a new company, and it was really seamless for all of that to be able to embed into their day-to-day processes and business workflows. And it was minimal input from us, really, because we like to empower our clients to own their system. It's not our system, it's theirs. And they were able to just grow their company in a way that was simple. And that means, like, if you're bringing in a new company, it was in a different location, different warehouse, back to all those multis again. And it was easy. I think they think it was easy as well. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything back. But,
right. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess just lastly, Ranae, ERP system will change. I think all technology is changing. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing in terms of changing? And I know we're going to talk about some trends in ERP in a future episode, but what are you seeing in terms of what's changing and what's available? Because we've got a couple of ERP systems that we work with. Yeah. What's the evolution looking like?
AI.
Yeah.
Which is quite exciting.
Back to AI again.
Yeah, I know, right? So within your ERP, as opposed to having to pull reports or have a dashboard or whatever, there is an agent coming where you can ask it a question to say, find me a transaction that looks incorrect, and it will trawl through and return back to you transactions that look like they've been keyed wrong or whatever, and then it will also return the piece of code that you use for that. So, I mean, that's exciting. That's got massive scope. I don't think
so in terms
even
of training and things like that, it just changes the ballgame, doesn't it? You can just ask a simple question, and rather than having to find the right place, it'll go and do that piece of work.
I googled what a simple explanation for ERP is, because I was quite interested as to what it would say, and it said that it's a digital assistant. And I think that it's not a digital assistant yet, ERP, but in time, as AI develops more and more, then it certainly will be a digital assistant for your business. So
it's got potential that, even though we talk about their scalability and what size it is, it could have even more benefit to smaller businesses in the future as well, couldn't it?
Yeah, it just takes away all of that manual data manipulation that we're inclined to do. So, yeah, exciting.
Well, I think that's all we've got time for on this episode of the Digital Roast podcast. Thank you, Ranae. Really insightful. I mean, I think the thing that I picked up out of that was ERP isn't just for those enterprise businesses. It's for any business that's got some complexity. It's for any business that needs to integrate and put everything, get that source of truth, which again is one of those buzzwords, but ensuring that you've got everything centralised and having those add-ons as part of that. I think you've done such a fabulous job today. It would only be fair that for the next 3 episodes, perhaps, would you take the mic, so to speak, and maybe look to host the next 3 episodes for me?
Sure.
Excellent. I've thrown you under the bus there, but I'm really looking forward to the next 3 episodes. Ranae Dodds, Christchurch branch manager and business software consultant and manager.
/ podcast host.
/ podcast host now.
Wow. Yeah. Amazing.
Thanks, Ranae.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Digital Roast podcast.